The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
There's been some big breakups recently. Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness were all still rocked by that one, obviously.
Oh, Hugh's not, because he's got some fresh gear and he's happy.
But yesterday we heard that the biggest divorce of the year, the Libs and the Nats, the coalition, is no more.
Yeah, I've seen David Littleproud getting up there and he's saying we don't have the same interests, so to speak. Policies, is what he's talking about.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where I want to go in my life.
Yeah, so that and the nuclear thing is a big factor apparently. They're more pro-nuclear than the Libs are. Yeah, and so he's like, but do you reckon it's just like, oh, they've got a woman in charge now, we don't want to work with that?
Oh no, I think that they know. By the way, I think that they know that's the way to go. That is the way to go. They should know that that's the way to go.
Oh, they should.
They should.
These are the Nats we're talking about.
I think it's I don't know. They're playing hardball. You know, one of the groups plays hardball. No, we're going to stick to our line. If they don't like it, well,
the last time they broke up, they got back together after 100 days. So that was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So this isn't forever. Obviously, I think they'll circle back to one
sometimes
another.
In relationships, you got to make a move.
Yeah,
and hopefully it works in your favour.
See what else is out there. There's not a lot of options.
I deserve better than this.
It's not like the Nats are going to hook up with the Greens or anything, is it? That's not going to happen.
That's not happen.
Although they do say opposites attract, but not that much. Relationship breakups are one thing, but when it's a non-relationship breakup, though, it can be just as difficult and just as awkward, can't it, Ross?
Yeah, it can. I had to break up with my PT. Excellent PT, you know him.
I do.
Fuller,
he's a ripping bloke.
He's an ex-rugby player.
Rugby league.
For the Reds.
Does his job great, but money's tight. It's cost of living. I needed to pull back on my sessions. Firstly, I had to pull it back from 2 to 1.
Yes.
And I told him. Actually, I was going to tell him in person, but I felt like he was a bit grumpy that day.
So you chickened out.
Texted him later, and he was like, "Yeah, cool, all good." But then I had to completely professionally
drop it all together. So
And
what'd you do that with a post-it note? What'd you do?
I went to do it in the session, chickened out again, and then I saw him the next day, I think, and I told him, and then he grunted at me. But he was cool after that. But initially, I was just worried because he's a burly bloke, big guy.
What do you think he's going to beat you up?
He could easily. But I just didn't. I don't like letting people down.
No, it is hard. And when you've worked together, because you've known him a long time, you've worked with him for a long time.
Intimate. He touches my triceps, helps all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Ross doesn't let anyone touch his triceps.
No,
quietly.
I had to go once.
Yeah.
I got a few drinks into you, I remember.
Thanks, a long time ago. But it was. I didn't want to do the breakup, but
it's just an awkward thing.
You got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe your hairdresser as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be really difficult because then they see you out publicly and you've had a bit of a haircut.
Yeah, and it's clear that you've had your hair done. It's like, oh no.
If you didn't break up with them and they just see you with your new haircut.
Yeah.
But it can be super awkward, especially if it doesn't end well.
All right, 13, 24, 10. We'll put relationships aside. We're talking about those non-relationship breakups. Have you had to break up with your barista? Have you had to break up with your accountant?
Doctor.
Physio, your chiro.
Yeah. Who's touching you now?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
This rang a bell to me when I was just out talking to Simon, who's our tech guru. He's just come back from Bali. So last time we were in Bali, for everyone goes to Bali, you go down the beach for sunset drinks, right?
Yes.
And you sit in a particular section generally because you know the people there, the Balinese.
Yeah, right. Okay,
and
so that's like the bean bags and
the
whatever.
Bean bags, exactly. So this guy Johnny was running the area that we were sitting at every single day. Next door was a newer place with they had a DJ playing every night, and my friend's son had his 18th birthday. So for that particular night, which was a Friday, we went and stood. And we're talking a metre difference between standing on one side of the line to the other.
Surely you could have heard the DJ on the other side of the line.
Well, we thought we'd just go there because we wanted to be part of it all and go, no worries. He cracked the shits, this guy.
What, the owner of the first place?
Yeah, Johnny, he was working there.
When you went every day?
Yeah, he went off.
Because you betrayed him?
We betrayed him.
Yeah.
But we were spending a lot of money with him over the journey. We had a lot of people with us.
He wanted more of that money.
Yeah, he absolutely cracked it.
So what, did he ban you? Is that
No, we said that's it, we're not coming back.
To Bali or just to his?
No, to his spot. Yeah.
You showed him.
Take that, Johnny.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. Non-relationship breakups. Chelsea, hello.
Hello.
Morning.
All right,
Hi,
Chelsea. Who did you have to break up with? Tell us.
I recently broke up with my job of 22 years.
Oh, that's a long time there, Chels.
It is. I've been a dance teacher for 22 years and just recently made the choice to start a business with my husband.
Oh.
So I made the choice and told the kids, some of which I've taught since they were like 3 years old.
Bet.
Were there
who are
tears?
now like in their 20s. And there was tears all over.
Yeah. You
On my
broke their little
part, their
dancing
part.
hearts.
You did.
Yes, I did. And I'm very sorry and I miss them.
That doesn't
but
sound
they
like
know,
it.
They know I love them. They know I love them.
But you left him in the lurch.
Oh, you did leave them.
Oh.
Chelsea, I'm as bad as you because I just got a message from Karen, who used to be a patient of mine when as a chiropractor. She just said, your chiro breaks up with you after 20 years for the wireless.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and I did. I had to write a letter saying, I'm so sorry, but this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving.
I know, you should have
wrote a letter.
And,
That's nice.
To all of every patient that was a regular got
Not an email, letter.
No, letter.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah.
I actually thought it was going to be like the Libs and Nationals. I didn't think I thought you would just go back.
That I would
at
go
some
back.
stage.
Yeah.
you
So
decided not to.
you've got 3 years before your registration lapses, and once your registration lapses, it's really hard to get it back again.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you can do it, but it's just so much study and exams, and I'm like, oh no, thank you. Good on you, Chelsea. Cheyenne, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Good,
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. What was your non-relationship breakup?
So I had hair extensions in, but it was the curly hair extensions because my hair's really curly.
Yeah.
And I needed to get them booked in to get it like moved up, but I had surgery.
Yes.
And she was like, yep, I can get you in. And I just couldn't wait. So I pulled all the extensions out and cut my own hair.
Oh.
And then have you gone back to your hairdresser?
No.
Just so you're too scared?
Yeah, I'm too scared. She messaged me asking me about it. I was like, I've actually just like cut all my hair off. And she was like, well, what did you do with your hair extensions? I was like, they're just sitting in my cupboard underneath my bathroom sink.
Oh.
That's great because they won't smell.
No.
No. I make sure they're clean all the time. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
we're
Thanks, Cheyenne.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
I had something happen to me that hasn't
You did.
happened in 20 years.
I can't believe this still happens in this day and age.
I was kind of impressed, but also annoyed. So I was driving home from a Coburn Cougars game. I do some work with them. They had a win. It was great. But I was driving down through Freo, through Cottesloe. I was on actually Curtin Ave, so it's just near the train station.
Yeah, there's a police station right there too.
There is. Oh, I wish I knew that back then. And this is on Sunday. And then I'm driving past. There's a whole bunch of bushes on the left.
Yes, there is. Yep.
And then I just hear, and I'm like, what was that? And then something went all over my windscreen, and I realised within a couple of seconds, it was egg.
A good old-fashioned egging.
I got egged, like fully egged all over the car.
In this economy, I guess,
Oh, well, you're in
it was
Cottesloe.
Cottesloe.
You're in Cottesloe.
Yeah,
So you're like,
They
oh,
were
we got
probably
eggs for days.
They were from the boat shed, those eggs.
They're expensive double yolkers, I'd imagine that.
So I get hit, realise what's happening. I drive about 50 metres, and then I have to decide in my head, what am I going to do? And I was pretty furious. I was surprised first.
Did you back up and like chase them? Because you've got this thing in your brain that can click sometimes where you
Go a
go
bit
from
crazy.
very, very mild-mannered to, being a warrior for justice.
And that happens like 0.1% of the time of my life. Usually I run away from these things. I did a U-turn. I did a U-turn. I was like, man, you egged my car. And then, all right, so I U-turn. I go back to the bush. And as I'm driving, I'm like, what am I going to do to these people? I'm like, I'm going to make them clean my car.
Yeah.
You know? But then I was like, well, how am I going to make them clean the car? Because they're going to have to get in the car. We're going to have to drive to a petrol station. Anyway, we'll deal with that in a sec because I'm going to find them.
So you were going to abduct them.
I hadn't.
That was your plan?
All I knew is I was going to find it.
Yeah,
I got to
okay.
find it,
Okay.
make them accountable. That
Yes,
was my
sure.
thing.
I like
Egging.
it, boss.
Egging. There was a little part of me that was like, kind of like, this is kind of funny, but I'm annoyed because it's an egging. So I go to the bush and I found a couple in a car. Like there's a ute, and it did not look like someone who would egg you, right? So it was a guy older than me and his partner. And so I wind down the window, and my instinct was, nah, it wasn't them. And I was like, Have you guys Have you guys got any eggs, or have you done any? Someone egged me. I said, you guys got any eggs, or has there been egging here? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? I was like,
Of course they'd deny it.
Yeah. I could tell. I was 90% sure it wasn't then, and then I softened. I was like, I think someone just egged me, so I'm just looking for them. They're like, okay. And then I kept driving around a little bit. I didn't find them, but I would. And then after that,
Maybe it was just a giant chicken flying. Did you consider that?
Yeah, it could always be. But I wanted to find them, couldn't find them. As I said, didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted to get a hold of them and get a hold of their parents. That was my next thing. I was like,
yes.
Give me your phone, I'm going to call your parents. But then anyway, I didn't find them. I ended up having to go to the petrol station, and it stunk. It got in the gutter bit, the front grille, so it went all through the engine.
Scrambled. It would have scrambled as well.
So how much time did it take you to clean it up?
It took about 20 minutes, and the wife was waiting for me to be home because she needed help with the kids, or wanted help with the kids, and so I'm like, I'm late. I got egged. But I got egged. Egging. I haven't dealt with an egging in 20 years.
Ross, you bring up getting hold of their parents as one of the angles you were thinking about once you got hold of these kids, if you did.
Yeah.
That happened to my oldest and his mates, right? And this was a few years ago. They were getting around the streets, and we didn't know that. He was just at his friend's house up the street.
Yeah.
And then we get a call from his friend's mother, who says, I've got some information for you guys. It's not great. We're like, where's this
What's
going?
he doing? Yeah.
The kids have been caught on the street over at a guy called Murray's house.
Not Murray.
Murray, who's an angry guy. And they'd egged Murray's house, and he's caught them up the street hiding in the bushes. So Murray has come out of the house because they've egged a house.
Steaming.
And they've hid.
Yeah.
But he
Murray
sniffed
found
them
him.
out. He sniffed them out, and he caught them.
Did he get them by the scruff of their neck? Or pull them back to their house by their earlobe?
It was hard to be angry at them because, number one, everyone knew Murray was angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was like...
Don't throw eggs at angry Murray's house. Like, I mean, of all the
He's gonna
houses...
get ya.
That's risky fun, though.
Throw them at nice Sharon's house. You know what I mean?
But
So egging, I was on the other end of it where
Yes.
I was copping the phone call. And how do you tell your kids off? Because you've all done it.
What was the punishment for egging angry Murray's house?
Oh, it was probably a low 5 rather than a high 5.
Okay, way to teach him a lesson, Sean. Look, we want to know. Let's talk about good old-fashioned eggings. Have you done it? Have you been a victim of it? Tiana, hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Tiana.
We are talking good
Hello.
old-fashioned eggings. What happened, Tiana?
Oh, so when I was a lot younger and I was out at the time, but I get a text from my parents saying some young boys have egged our backyard, like from the laneway, thrown eggs over straight onto the pavement in the pool area.
Lobbed the grenade, essentially.
Yes, and I was like, oh, that's quite funny. So I raced home thinking this would be funny, and my dad had the boy that I actually was in love with and texting at the time, scrubbing eggs off my backyard.
How awkward. Was that his way of showing you that he liked you or not?
Yeah, I don't know. He thought it was funny, but my dad put in the laneway and just bolted, grabbed them, and dragged them back to the house, and I was
And
just
made them
mortified.
scrub.
Well, that was what Ross was going to do if he got hold of these kids in Claremont the other night.
Except
Being on the other side of it, mature consequences, it gives me great satisfaction. You will scrub.
That's it.
Not the guy.
Not the guy you got the crush on.
no.
That's horrendous.
I know.
Mortifying.
And then that all ended.
Yeah, that is brutal. Thanks, Tiana. Glenn's in Brabham. Good morning, Glenn.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, good, Glenn.
We're talking good old-fashioned eggings. What happened?
We were the eggers.
Something I thought you were going to say that.
We lived on the main highway between Wagga and Albury in New South Wales.
Yeah?
And we had a 12th birthday party. There was about 10 or 12 of us kids, so we all decided we'd go down to the local school, which was a good hiding spot, and throw eggs at cars, which we've done before. Yeah. And I reckon all 12 of us had 2 eggs each, and we threw it at this car, and I reckon every single egg hit it.
I mean, that amazing strike rate, first of all. Congratulations.
And then he slammed on the brakes and chased us, and we ran back to the school principal's house because he was at the party.
Yeah.
And hid in his garage for about 15 minutes while the guy drove around trying to look for us.
You're a rat bag, Glenn. I was chasing you on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Glenn.
But being a good little boy that I was,
yes,
we also used to egg houses and a couple of times when we went to Melbourne, a mate's mum lived in Melbourne, we'd sneak out at night and take a few eggs in egg houses. And we lobbed a heap at this one guy's front door and then hid in the paddock next door for about 20 minutes until he left.
Rat bag, Glenn.
That's what you do.
Glenn,
It was my mate.
Glenn, did you go on to a life of crime, or are you a good, upstanding citizen?
I'm an upstanding citizen.
So there's hope.
But he's a teenage boy once.
as you would know, Nat, us Esperance people are all upstanding citizens.
There you go.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Glenn's right about
Yeah,
that.
and when you're in Esperance, it's hard to go door to door because for you, Natalie, it would have been like
if you're in
50
town,
Ks.
yes, but yes, 40 Ks into town. It's 8 Ks to the neighbour's house, so he's probably not going to go and egg him. You know what I mean?
Dedication if you do.
Oh, thanks, Glenn. Julie's in Cudale. Morning, Jules.
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, good, Jules.
Julie, okay.
Good.
Were you
We're
the
going back
perpetrator or the
Yes.
victim?
No, the victim's here. Well, kind of. I was victim times 2.
Yeah.
So we're out one night and we were driving home and I was 9 months pregnant and we had a toddler in the back as well. And we're driving along and we got egged. So my husband decides that he's going to go full stuff and hutch and slams on the brake, gets out of the car and runs after these kids.
Yep.
So leaves me in the middle of the road, fully pregnant, didn't care about me, and just goes off and grabs these 2 kids. So he got them,
Yeah.
and then he takes them to their house. He parks them on their front porch, knocks on the parents' door, and demands that the parents tell him or give him an explanation what their kids are doing out egging him.
This is
And
Ross's dream. This is what Ross wanted to do,
Yeah,
Julie.
Jules.
Yeah, keep going.
This is 12 o'clock at night. He leaves me in the middle of the road. Don't worry about me.
He's defending your honour.
Yes, it's vengeance. It can't wait.
He was fully outraged. He was like, and it ended up that the kid's dad came out and he apologised, gave Kane a beer, and all good.
Yeah.
And a carton of eggs and send him on his way.
Oh, isn't that good? Right, sorry, mate.
Yeah, sorry
fancy
about that.
Corona.
It's like
Just to cool you
pregnant
down.
wife
Let's have a
sitting
chat
in the
about
middle
it.
of the road. Oh, good on you, Jules. Thank you.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.